That's right. Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Pi. OB, you want to introduce yourself? Good talk.
Jeez. All right, folks. We don't have a lot of time. We have some pretty substantial projects to get to. It's the Citrus Dreamin' Season 1 finale. Pi, we have, first of all, we should probably get to the business of what Obi is talking about, where we have gone from a Final Four to a Final Two.
Yeah, so originally we were going to do a Final Three. Then I expanded that to the Final Three-ish because I just couldn't decide between who I wanted exactly to be the Final Four. So it led to being a Final Four with Space Mountain, Joker's Wild, Monorail Red, and AGP, Architectural Guinea Pig. Then, unfortunately, some work stuff came up, and Space Mountain had a lot less time than expected, and just kind of said, look, I am super proud of what we did with the semifinal, super proud of what I've done all season, and I'd rather end on that note than pull out something last minute that's just kind of like filler.
Makes
just
sense,
to say
yeah.
I did something. So Space bowed out. And then around the same time, Joker's message was like, hey, I've been horribly ill.
He's sick.
Yeah, he's just too scared to face Monorail Red and AGP in the finals, obviously.
Maybe.
No, he had some kind of fever or reek, so had to take the time off and wasn't really able to get something done. Kind of said the same thing. Like, Sim Forest Park was like my baby. I put a lot of effort into it. It was obviously a team effort, but a lot of the park itself as a whole, Joker's was the driving force behind that theme. And it was like, I'd rather end on that note than be here with a fever trying to just pump something out just to say I did something.
Totally valid.
Final two.
Totally valid.
Yeah. But that led us to a Final Two with Monorail Red and AGP. I think one of, if not our longest running veteran on the forum versus one of our newest players who this is only their second game.
Yeah, and I think this is honestly kind of a perfect Final Two, and all due respect to Space and Jokers, but I almost kind of feel like them dropping makes it even more dramatic because we've got such a contrast in this head-to-head matchup here.
Oh, yeah. If I was writing like a TV series, this is how I would write the Final Two to be. It's like, I mean, it's the theme of the game so far, or like all season, like the running theme that was never like officially stated of, like, we have a couple of like brand new players who've only been here like a year or less. And then we have all these veterans who came out of retirement, so to speak, playing for their first time in years. Even people like Space, who wasn't not playing, but wasn't playing to win, came to win. Monorail Red, I think this is in like 8 years the most like on it and competitive I've seen Red being.
Probably, yeah.
It's been fantastic to see.
So we got Red in the comments, just giving a shout out to everyone. Kogias, I am feeling better, thank you. The situation was, yeah, we'll do the back cave Sunday. I don't really want to get into that, but all right. So yeah, I think that we've got a really interesting matchup of projects too, because I think what your written feedback laid out is pretty much how I'm feeling, where Red essentially did a really good remix of different ideas, and AGP really went with something very bold, very different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you want to start with Red?
Yeah, we'll start with Red. They were able to post first, so it makes sense. Really, I mean, obviously, right at the gate, amazing artwork, as always. It's not a shock, but amazing. There was a blend of mini lands there, but they kind of all flowed together, so it was like one adventure land, but just kind of different sections in it. So how Magic Kingdom's adventure land is now, just a little bit more cohesively done. With Aladdin off in the corner, kind of like separated out a bit more. Then you had the Jungle Cruise, Jungle Expedition area, and then you had the Polynesian area with Moana Ride, and then the entrance that was just kind of generically Adventureland.
So, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't feeling this one all that much, to tell you. You probably like it better than I do, in all honesty. And honestly, I'll tell you the big reason why for me is just because at this point I'm sorry, I'm just sick of IP when it comes to Disney. I know that that's all they're ever going to do from now on until we get like a radical shift. Not just I'm not just talking Iger getting out. I'm talking like the entire fucking company shifting around. That's what it's gonna take to get original attractions, which is sad, but very much the state of where we are right now. So I think Red's project. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I could go on a larger rant about how that ties into problems with the whole entertainment industry and the fact that we're on a third Fairly Odd Parents reboot and how time is just a flat circle and nostalgia Ouroboros and all that. But that's a whole nother discussion about.
Pi, just to clarify, I need to know: Are you not absolutely stoked for Bad Boys: Ride or Die? The fourth movie in the Bad Boys franchise? Are you not just absolutely stoked to see one of the like dozen or so franchises just regurgitated yet again?
I mean, I'm sure it will be good.
Really? I'm not.
I'm sure it'll be as good as any Bad Boys movie has ever been.
I doubt it's going to be as good as Bad Boys 2.
Nah, this is high bar.
Oh dear.
The whole entertainment industry, but Disney World has just kind of become a microcosm of it, of just kind of doing very similar ideas over and over.
Yep.
There's a lot of things that seem hopeful that they're breaking out of it on the horizon, but breaking out of it while still being very IP heavy.
So another issue I have with Fred's project, and Pi, obviously you're the one that made the prompt, so you're going to be more of an authority on this than I am. I really don't think that they stuck to the parameters of using the Jungle Cruise footprint first and foremost.
So they did talk to me in advance and showed me the map to double check.
Okay.
And they also showed through how, like, if you look at it, the map compared to satellite map, 90% of what they're talking about is in that Jungle Cruise space. The Moana ride, other than
really
entrances, wow. I have some questions about how realistic the sizing is on the mini version of Jungle Cruise. But other than that, it all is in that space. It's all south of the treehouse and that line.
I gotta be honest with you, the Jungle Cruise, like that element is probably like my biggest hang up with this project in general, which is ironic because I just said my biggest hang up was the IPs, and this is like the one thing that's not an IP. But
Jungle Cruise is kind of an IP. It's like Haunted Mansion. It's becoming an IP at this point.
Right, yeah. But I seriously, don't get me wrong, what she did with Jungle Cruise was very creative. I like the remix approach. I like the new scenes. I like cutting out some of the fat. I think the problem is that by having a Jungle Cruise in the mix at all, I honestly feel like it inherently goes against the spirit of this prompt.
Which is not a bad point. I was a little surprised to see a Jungle Cruise again. I feel like there was... I'm not as... I don't know if down on it's the right word, but I'm not as against it as you are. I do wish I mentioned in the review that there was more original scenes, because volcano scene is really totally cool. But the rest of it's more or less classic Jungle Cruise, which isn't a problem. Jungle Cruise is great. Outbound. The Jungle Cruise ride in Disneyland is based on the 2021 movie. It was in the 50s, at least. They moved away with that in the 60s. This is Defunctland about it. I'm just going to start gaslighting everyone to believing that.
Oh my god. I mean, technically the Jungle Cruise was kind of based on the African Queen originally. Kind of,
yeah.
It's kind of like half African Queen, half True Life Adventures.
Yeah.
We also got Nate in the comments. Nate, I'm sure the Bad Boys movie was just fine, but that's the thing. All the fucking movies that are coming out right now are just fine. I am literally scared shitless that Inside Out 2 and A Quiet Place Day 1 are going to be just fine. If either of those movies end up being just fine, I am going to be legitimately upset. We need to do better than just fine. All right.
But circling back a little bit to the use of IP.
Yeah.
I said this in my review, and I think this is what saves it for me, is like if it was anyone else, if I saw, well, they did an Adventureland project, and it's in the Lantern ride, the Moana ride, and the redo of Jungle Cruise. I would just been like, okay, cool. Easy loss, probably. That's going to be kind of boring. But Red does a very good job at finding twists on them that make it not just feel like here's another IP ride. Like putting a classic Fantasyland style dark ride in Adventureland, or Moana as a drop tower. I thought that was really clever. It's why the Jungle Cruise was the only, like, what I would call, not letdown, that's more extreme than I mean it, just because it feels like it's playing it very safe, whereas the other idea is like, here's a carousel that stacks on top of itself.
That carousel is probably my single favorite thing about the whole project. And I don't say that in like a disparaging way. I say that in a way like it's very creative in its use of space. Yeah. I genuinely really love the visual of that stack of animal statues that the Sultan has. Yeah.
So what you're saying, I get, and in general, I would agree with you, I think. But I feel like Red did a good job elevating beyond just the ideal might be on the surface seem kind of a letdown, but then you see what Red did with it, and it's like, okay, no, I get it. This is great.
Yeah, totally. The idea of the Aladdin Dark Ride is good. It's solid. I will say the idea of having, like, basically it being a Peter Pan's flight with the carpet, it's a solid idea. I've definitely seen it before. What I haven't seen before is a Moana drop tower, and I would definitely like to talk about that.
That was probably the other thing
that was the other thing that really stood out to me. That being said, I hard agree with you that there's too much dialogue.
A little bit. Like, it doesn't need cut all of it, but it's a little bit too much talking.
I just worry about the capacity, honestly. That was the main thing that was running through my head. Seems like a pretty lengthy experience, and drop towers are kind of notoriously, low capacity to begin with. I'm not sure if she had any detail about, like, there being multiple towers or anything. I might have missed that. Do you remember off the top of your head?
I assumed it was kind of just like Tower Terror with 2 towers.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Which Red's writing, both the biggest strength and the biggest weakness is so, like, emotion driven. Like, you feel like you're there. You feel the emotions of every single scene, of every single line of dialogue, and it's so great and something you can't really teach. You just kind of have to have the feel for it, and Red has that feel. But the other side of that is sometimes those technical details are missing.
Yeah, but conceptually, though, I think the ride is fantastic. I think
exactly
just the idea of having, like, essentially a story-driven dark ride that's also a drop tower, but also not just a Tower of Terror clone in the structure of how it works.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great.
And Red, I don't think the script was a hot mess. I actually think you captured the characters really well. It was just a bit too long for the ride. Like, I was shocked by how well you captured the characters, especially because I feel like, and it's might just me, I feel like Maui is kind of tough to just not be doing The Rock.
Right. Oh, can't wait to see Moana 2. Are you excited for Moana 2?
Like a little bit, but tempered expectations.
I'd be way more excited about it if it was an actual Walt Disney Animation Studios production and not recycled Disney Plus stuff. But I digress.
See, here's the thing, though. This is way off topic, like all of it. Most of the problem with Disney Plus series is that they take a movie and they stretch it out over 8 episodes.
That's true.
It's not that they're bad. It's just they add so much filler. So if you compress it, maybe it will actually be a good movie. Like Obi-Wan, I feel like would have been great. Same with Book of Boba Fett. If both of those were movies instead of stretched out over 6. And yes, they are still doing live action Moana Outbound, and that's the one I'm really not excited for. Dara Red, Moana 4 is going to be crazy. Moana 4 is when they start doing drag races across the streets. They time travel to the future as a crossover with Fast and Furious. the faster Moana.
Is The Rock going to come in as Agent Hobbs?
He'll be both.
Oh my god. Multiverse of madness.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, in general, I definitely think Red had a lot of detail. Visually, it was great. There were one or two issues with the actual site in regards to like photos overlapping with text. I'm not going to hold that against you too much, but yeah.
And Monroe Red, to answer your question, both RuPaul and Fast and Furious.
RuPaul is Tangaroa.
There you go.
That is one thing that I genuinely hope they do with Moana sequels is include more of the gods from the Tiki Room pre-show.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be great. There's so many ones they mentioned there.
Mm-hmm. I remember the one time that I was actually recognized in the parks by somebody was a Tiki Room cast member when I was talking to one of my friends about the fact that Maui from the Tiki Room was going to be in Moana. So that was cool. I'll always kind of associate with that.
Yeah.
No, Pix, I'm talking about the big tree guy. I am Tangaroa, father of all gods and goddesses. I could do the whole thing, but I'm not going to.
He is the original Tiki.
Mm-hmm. I literally could quote. I mean, this is probably not a surprise to you, but I literally could quote the entire Tiki Gardens pre-show plus the entire show. They wouldn't even take any effort.
I think that if we have time at the end of this podcast, you should. I think it's a fitting way to end the season of Adventureland game.
Oh dear God. Okay, well that means we're gonna have to speed run through this.
Yeah, we'll put you on the spot at the end.
Okay.
So you'll have to speed run at the end. Like you have to say it in fast forward.
So let's move on to AGP. We have to address the smellephant in the room.
Which glad you said smellephant.
Right. Which is the fact that AGP submitted his project about a little shy of 24 hours late.
A little bit.
That's kind of an issue. That's definitely kind of an issue. I'm not going to lie.
A lot of that was technical issues.
Mm-hmm.
AGP did ask for a couple-hour extension last night. And then in the last couple hours they were finishing things up, the internet went out. And they sent a screenshot of it, so they proved that it was, if not fully ready to go, 90% ready to go, just waiting there. But Google Sites is something you can't edit on your phone.
Yeah.
So there's not even a way you can access it really unless it's already published. And Red at Tiki Garden would have been really interesting. I feel like the OB Grove was more fitting for Walt Disney World, but Tiki Garden would have been cool.
So,
but yeah,
with AGP, I'm just gonna come right out and say I really love what he did with this concept. It's honestly, for me, if we were grading just on the final project, which we're not, but if we were, AGP would probably get my vote. I'm not going to lie.
It is based on the season as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
But the final project, I do think I agree. It was a big swing. I was worried at first. When I saw it, I had that moment. I'm like, this is going to be really just pandering, fan servicey. Is this going to be Rogue One? The Rogue One of the Imagineering Forum. But then you read the whole thing, and no, it is a cohesive, full thing. And there's not one moment where I felt like you put that in there just for me, but that's okay.
I will say the inclusion of the different birds. I truly think the different birds absolutely need to be a season 2 thing. We need to expand in season 2 with different characters. That I feel like there's a lot of potential there.
No spoilers for the after credits scene, but Living Bird's design is slightly different than how AGP imagined them.
Ooh. So yeah, you know what? I there's a theme park in California, Pi. I don't even know if you know of its existence. It's pretty low key. It's
Mm-hmm.
called Gilroy Gardens. Have you ever heard of that?
I'm gonna fully admit, I thought you were building up to do like a bait and switch. I think this is a small theme park you may not have heard of, California Adventure.
No.
No, I have not heard of Gilroy Gardens.
All right, so Gilroy Gardens it's legitimately just themed to a garden. It's not like the Busch Gardens parks where the Busch Gardens parks are themed to continents. This is just
Yeah.
straight up like it's got a garden theme to it. And honestly, a lot of what AGP did here really reminded me of that sort of design philosophy, just obviously on a bigger scale, on a Disney scale, and I really love that.
Oh yeah. I had a similar kind of thing where it reminded me of something niche and nerdy that I'm nostalgic of. Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 had a giant garden as one of the theming sets.
Oh,
And a lot of what was being described here just reminds me of like the things I built in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. It was really creative and out there and the type of stuff you don't see often in real life because of how it feels small even when it's doing these grand things.
I'm legitimately having a deja vu moment, man. I so much Roller Coaster Tycoon when I was a teenager.
Oh yeah.
Just so much, so much.
But no, he did a really good job, and I really liked the way it kind of bridges Main Street and Adventureland, but flows like really well throughout that too. Like there's a lot of thought in how it all goes together.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I love the homage to the orange groves right at the start.
Oh
I
yeah.
love the all the scale stuff, the giant orange as an homage to the orange stinger with the swing ride. The smell of bees is great.
Oh yeah. Uh,
uh, Let
and
me
you're
tell
right,
you.
Outbound. It does kind of feel like if Bountiful Valley Farms was like fully realized.
Mhm,
Like this
mhm.
feels like it should have been what Bountiful Valley Farms was when DCA opened.
Like, just
Although,
have a good, solid Bugs Life Dark Ride instead of just. And speaking of the Bugs Life Dark Ride, one of the things I did really like about it is that, in some respects, not all of the attraction, but definitely certain scenes felt like they were straight up paying homage to a Bugs Land, which I appreciated,
yeah, it was really
especially the
cute.
Heimlich and the Francis scenes.
Yeah. It was cute. It was nice. It paid homage to the past. I mentioned in the review, and I'll mention it here. I feel like the big problem I have with the Bugs Life Dark Ride is that's the one part where I felt a bit too in jokey is when the climax of the ride was interaction with a giant orange bird, which felt out of place for Bugs Land or Bugs Life.
Yeah, I mean, granted, with A Bug's Life in the movie, a bird is a pretty pivotal plot point, so that I kind of made
True.
that connection. Um, yeah.
But
Let me
like
see.
other than that, I thought it was perfect. I really liked the Choose Your Own Adventure. Like Red said, and like you said earlier, the continuation of OB Family Tree was
Mhm.
wonderful. Like even that was an in joke we were joking about like 2 days ago on the forum.
True. Um,
Uh,
I think by far my favorite element of this project, and honestly one of my favorite standalone attractions the whole season, is that orange juice factory, man. That shit is so up my alley. And the way he described it was like so kinetic and satisfying.
yes, I like the idea of the moving walkway tech. Sounds like
Mhm.
a weird sentence, but moving walkway tech. So like the Minion ride, which I haven't gotten to ride yet, but that was really fun. Like addition there.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I again, like, just reading through the whole thing, I was just nodding along, like, yep, that would be super fun. That would be super fun. That would be super
exactly.
fun.
It almost pushes the line into being too Epcot-y or too
Yeah.
even like early California Adventure. It's right up against the line. And that could just be from me who didn't have interventions in the castle park associating this kind of attraction. Because it reminded me of sort of like a less high-tech interventions. Or more high-tech, but less high-tech
To
theme.
be fair, Disneyland's interventions, from what I understand about it, was definitely the lesser of the two interventions.
I mean, it didn't have the interventions music loop that Epcot had. unless it had it
Yeah,
inside, which it couldn't.
exactly.
Yeah, but that being said, it never quite crosses the line between two Epcot. It just feels at home here. It feels,
Yeah.
like we said before, small but big.
Yeah, I mean, it
Got
certainly
charm.
took inspiration from stuff like Club Cool and the Bowden bread factory tour, my beloved long lost Mission Tortilla Factory. Can love that thing, but
Yeah, but it really was a great homage, but not just taking one of those and saying, "Now do it about oranges."
I
It's
feel like
too
the
well
difference is that they
designed.
really
Obi
did
family.
Disneyfy it in a way that the DCA attractions especially did not.
Yeah. And not to ignore it, the swing ride's really cool.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a basic swing ride, but I mean, honestly, swing rides are kind of one of my favorite flat rides just because they don't make me sick. They're nice and relaxing,
And I think every park needs more flat rides.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's controversial because some people think they might look ugly. I think
Not every park needs like a Paradise Pier area with like a whole collection of flat rides, and I think that's the difference. But yeah.
Every park needs at least one or two flat rides.
All right. Let's see. And
The
then
one thing I did note as a downside for realism's sake in the Pirates expansion is, as much as I love Pirates going outside and having the new outdoor queue, I think that's all really cool. It's Florida, and that's a high capacity ride that's indoors. Taking that and making enough of it outside that can't run in the rain would be a bad idea.
Yeah.
But I'm not that picky on realism to start nitpicking that. That's one of those things like when we were nitpicking, I wish Red's Jungle Cruise had one or two more original scenes. I'm not that nitpicky in ways that actually matter, but I thought it was worth noting.
I also feel like Red was almost too focused on the whole let's revitalize Adventureland instead of making this plot of land its own thing. Whereas I do appreciate that AGP very much took the approach of it is a revitalization of Adventureland, but most of the attention is going to be in this central thing that is a very new concept.
Which that dichotomy there, both in this project and in a lot of ways, is what makes it so difficult to choose a winner here. Because these projects approached it very differently, with Red approaching how am I going to revitalize Adventureland, and Obi approaching it as how am I going to do my own thing in this space. Right. Red as the long-running veteran who mostly played a support role, but a very strong support role throughout the season, versus AGP as a newcomer who came in and was more or less one of the big leaders for their team throughout the season. They've played very different games. They've been very different people. The contributions, other than both having a very good eye for colors, have been very different.
Exactly, yeah.
It's very tough to compare the two of them. But unless there's more you have to say about the projects, compare them is what we're here to do. But is there something to do before then? We've had a co-host this entire time. Obi? Would you like to come over here and say something?
Hi, friends.
This is Zoe. They've been Obi this entire time. I know you all thought this was an actual sentient cup.
Yep.
That's the big twist.
Yeah.
I also know you all thought it was this guy.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Desk is on the other side.
I've been here the whole time.
It's a little Dropout reference.
And also, Zoe was my opponent on the most recent debates, the Miyazaki debate. So if y'all caught that, you saw them in action.
If you all caught that, you already knew that I was Obi.
There's a slight spoiler in there.
Oh,
yeah,
plot twist. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you guys completely just outed me on that one. And thankfully, I don't think anyone watched.
From the forum. People watched.
It was a joke.
All right. Okay, so yeah, face reveal.
Yeah. Mind blown. Yep, plot twist, like Nate said. But they have been here the whole time, much like Sam Reich on Game Changer. While I have been the main host and the main one doing the judging calls, they have helped me out along the way. They've advised. They've been reading the projects. They've been loving them.
It's all very good. It's all very fun.
Oh, yeah. Do you have any specific thing from this season? And I'm going to put you on the spot right now in a way I know you hate. Any specific thing you want to call out about liking?
I know you're talking about the projects, but the ongoing me and Red team up of this being just the two of us in this together is my favorite thing. This bit is the best, and I have been in the chat kind of hyping it up.
Yeah. I am really glad. I was not manipulating anything, but I'm really glad, if for no other reason than the Team Orange Bird part of the draft, that Mara Red made it to the final two.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I don't want to skew the results here, but I think Red's been doing really good. But you can't take my word for that, because I am attempting to skew the results.
I like the all caps agreed by Red there. But despite having one of the hosts on your side, it's still a tough call on who's going to win. Hi, Theme Park Priest. You got here just in time. Meet Obi. Satiki, do you have anything else to say before we go on to revealing the winner?
No.
There you go. Inspiring last words.
I know, right?
Like I said, it came down to a lot of factors. It's based off of not just this project, the season as a whole. It was a really tough call. I went back and forth. But at the end of the day, the winner of Citrus Dreaming is going to be Architectural Guinea Pig.
Woo!
Of course, I think this is the only podcast AGP has not been for live.
Ironic, right?
I was waiting in the chat, show up?
Yeah. But that's okay. I'll be posting on the forum shortly after this. Y'all did play a great game. It really was right down to the wire. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Through the entire season, there was no clear front runner or no clear this person's definitely going to win. Y'all did amazing. It was great seeing so many people come out of retirement to give it their all. And it was a blast to watch y'all play. And AGP, congratulations. You've done amazing, especially for someone so new to this. I can't wait.
This is their second or maybe third game?
Yeah.
I think
second. It was the second, and they went against Red.
Yeah.
You won, buddy.
That's super impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Red, I just want to thank you for being such a good sport about it. She's been complimenting the project all along the way.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely wasn't just the project, the final project, but I'd honestly be lying if Pi, it ultimately came down to your call. I'm not just going to strong arm you with it. But
no, go for it.
After AGP posted, I was pretty much yeah, I'm definitely team AGP. I just think the originality that he showcased in that final project was honestly just something else. I haven't seen something that original in a while on these boards.
It was fantastic to see.
Not to mention, I do think you have a good point where Red played a very solid supporting game. Honestly, I am going to be playing in Sorcerer's Apprentice, and I actively want to emulate the game that Red played this season. That is my strategy. I want to be that supporting player that puts a lot of energy into key components of the project. I feel like every time I've played, I've kind of tried to put myself into a leadership role, and I'm actively going to at least try to avoid doing that this time.
That was my plan too. So I'm hoping we just have a team with like 5 support players and one person who's like, I have this idea, and then all of us just do opt for it.
Right.
But no,
Of course,
really,
knowing
it was a
me,
great game.
I've had some terrible luck over the years when I do sign up, and I end up being like, I basically have to do a lot of work just by default.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting seeing that, which does bring up the next point. Are you AGP? In which case, congrats, you won. You should carry this through to the next game and try again and try and win 2 games in a row. I don't know if anyone's ever done that. Are you not AGP? Then you should play Source's Apprentice, because you didn't win this game, but you might win that game.
Legitimately, if AGP ends up winning Sorcerer's Apprentice, he might be in the conversation for like one of the best players in the board's history, honestly.
Which is crazy how fast that's happened.
Because
Right.
I'm pretty sure he posted after getting home from school. Not like college. Not even, I think, like high school. Like, I'm pretty sure he went to middle school and then came home and then posted this.
That is what their profile says, but it could easily be out of date.
I genuinely hope he's in high school. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
If they're this talented right now, just imagine how they're gonna be when they're in their 20s, like most of the forum are at this point. 20s or 30s.
We're old now.
We're old
Yeah, I was
now.
gonna say I'm like pushing.
We're the old
34.
men. But it gives me a lot of hope for the forum as a whole, seeing a new generation coming in. Because not just AGP, but a Lord Farzanator, a lot of the other newer players coming in, being Waltwiz. They all grew so
I
much.
think both
this game,
Waltwiz and
it's
Lord
like-
Farzanator had awesome games in their own right this
Oh,
season.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a single, like, elimination that Zach wasn't like, well, I don't know what to do here. I don't want to send anyone home.
Right.
Everyone's been doing so good, and they've all grown so much.
Oh, yeah. I think the people like Ace and Outbound going to me and being like, I don't know how much time I'm going to have this next week. I'm not stepping out of the game or quitting or anything like that, but like, if you need an elimination, I'm not going to be upset.
Mhm.
So much. But no, this really was a great time. Do you have any final words, Obi? Great introduction as always. I want you guys to know that I really do just point at them when I say that, because they're right. They're at the desk that I usually do these type of things at. So I'm at this chair where I have a stack of board games my computer is sitting on top of.
Mm-hmm.
Tiki, do you have any last words?
I have around like a couple thousand or so from the Tiki Room script.
Were you looking it up? I
No,
thought it
I'm
was
not
pretty-
looking up the script. The only thing I'm looking up is the order of the gods and goddesses in the pre-show. That's the only thing I need.
Okay.
I literally have the entire spiel pretty much down. I just need the order. So,
Well then, Tiki, I think it's time you play us out. Thank you all for playing Citrus
Oh,
Dreaming.
dear
I've had a
God.
blast.
give me one second. I'm still trying to find that.
I'll keep vamping then.
All right.
This has been an awesome time. I really have enjoyed it. I cannot wait for Source's Apprentice, which, like I said, is starting soon. I don't know if it's end of June, beginning of July, but sometime in summer. Space should be announcing that soon. Be on the lookout on the forum, because while the game is over, there's going to be not one, but 2 after credits teams teasing future things.
If I can fucking find this.
Uh,
Hold on. Let me literally like
Play one of the other birds next season.
list of Tiki gods in the Enchanted Tiki Room pre-show.
I was thinking of making like a little lemon bed. But you could be both of them.
How long do I have to learn how to crochet a small citrus-themed creature?
Well, I won't spoil the after credits scene, but I did write on the comic that Citrus Dreamin' Season 2 would be coming in the year 2037.
Oh, plenty of time then.
Who knows? It might get moved up.
Legitimately, I'm pretty stoked for the future of this game. I really am. I think that you've
It
really
was so
created
fun.
like, honestly, I think it could be a genuine, like, successor to So You Want to Be an Imagineer.
That means a lot to hear. I had a lot of fun with it. I feel like the Rivers doing different twists on the gameplay was a lot of fun too. I hope that was one thing. Like I did feedback from people as per the like questions of the day. Do you want to be a finalist? And also, what do you think about the game? The two big things was people really like the different rivers, and we needed either less time as a merged team or more time as a merged team. Which I saw that myself, that only one game with that was a little short. But it's amazing what you were able to accomplish with even getting to know each other in that round.
So I'm not going to lie. I'm a
that?
little bit hazy on a couple of these gods as far as the strip goes. So I think I'm going to... I think just for the sake of my own sanity and for the sake of time, I think I am going to start with Tangaroa and then go on to the main show, all right?
All right. Take it away, Tiki. Bring us home.
And just putting my phone down. It's literally going on the floor. No cheating. I am Tangaroa, father of all gods and goddesses. Here in this land of enchantment, I appear before you as a mighty tree. Stand back. Oh, mystic powers, hear my call. From my limbs, let new life fall. Wind chimes, wind chimes, wind chimes, wind chimes. Let's see, some sort of Hawaiian phrase that I don't want to say because I'll probably get the pronunciation wrong. Ladies and gentlemen.
Aloha.
No, not just aloha. It's like Mahudi Maka or something like that. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Come with us to a world of joyous songs and wondrous miracles. Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. You know what? I'm pretty sure there's more to that, but I'm blanking on it right now. Is there more to that?
You talk such a big game. We don't have that in Florida.
Okay. Oh, God.
I have no... You could say anything, and I'd believe you.
Oh, my siestas are getting shorter and shorter. Oh, look at all the people. Welcome to Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. Michael, mi amigo, pay attention. It's showtime. And so it is. And what darling people I have sitting under me. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Pierre, you rascal, you. Let's put on the show. Mon ami, I'm always ready, as you say, to put on the show. Whistle, whistle. Oh, pardon, madame. That whistle was for my good friend, Fritz. Oh, Toniba, I almost fell out of my pineapple perch. Glad to see you all aboard. Sure. Wherever you are. My goodness, you're all staring at us. We better start the show rally. Wait, we forgot to wake up the Glee Cub. Ole, it's showtime. In the tiki room, blah blah blah. You get the point, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Bird sing words, flowers strewn. I'm not gonna sing that chorus over and over again. You know the lyrics to that. Welcome to our tropical hideaway, you lucky people. You. If we weren't to put the show starting right away, we'd be in the audience too, all together in the tiki room. Let's see. I sing so beautiful. I should sing solo. See, so low we can't hear you. My voice may not be so marvelous, but my profile is out of this world. Yahoo! But the problem is, it's not far enough out of this world. Isn't that right, Herr Schmidt? Woohoo! I see. Schmidt has no hair. Mi amigo, stop the clucking. You sound like a bunch of old hens. There's a lot of birds starting to go on. For instance, the birds of the back are called macaws because they're macaws, but no, because they're macaws. I don't think I got that quite right, but whatever. And our fine feathered friend is Jolly Toucan, and Toucan's got rhythm, one toucan can. We birds of paradise are an elegant bird. They like to be seen and they love to be heard. Most little birdies will fly away, but the tiki room birds are here every day, all together in tiki. All right, that's the end of that song.
Dance at Cowboys.
What?
That's how I dance at Cowboys. There's a little reference for the CPs in the audience. Or what are CPs?
Applause! Oh, that was so good. And ladies and gentlemen, put your eyes into the center of the room that is. We present the Enchanted Fountain. Mon ami. And, oh, God, okay. Kind of blanking on this part a little bit because it's a little wordy. The birds come down and it's like, oh, the finest feathers. Oy, whatever. There's...
We cut it in for okay.
Gigi, Fifi, Josephine. I wonder what happened to Rosita. Let's all sing what the birdie sing. Tweet you free. Blah 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 blah. I don't really think I need to go through that song because I literally think that
on a burlesque show.
I literally think that entire song is just the chorus, right? Just let's all sing like the birdies sing, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to go through that. Oh, God, what comes after that is... Yeah, I talked a big game. You're right. And I'm...
You did way better than I could have.
No, I'm not done yet, though. I'm not done yet.
Okay.
So let's see. After that, we transition into the Hawaiian war chant section, which is broken up between the flowers and the tiki gods. And I genuinely, for some reason, I'm sure there's a little bit of dialogue that's between Let's All Sing Like the Birdies Sing and that, but I can't quite remember what it is. Anyways, we have those two songs that I'm not going to go over because it's mostly Hawaiian lyrics. And then the thunderclaps. Let's see. I think somebody has stolen my thunder. I think somebody is at the shower running. Something. The gods have been angered by all this celebrating. But, me boys, every cloud has a silver lining. Yeah, fuck. So then they okay, the birdies had their fling. You heard the flowers sing. Tiki's played the drums. Hear them do the chant. Farewell and aloha to you. Applause, applause. Oh, so good, applause. Give the birds a standing ovation. And now that you're all standing, we have a wonderful magic trick for you. Yahoo! A wonderful trick. Everybody, face the door. And the trick is, we're gonna make you all disappear. All right. Done.
I mean, so tempted to just leave the stream when you said that.
I was about to move down into the actual chair.
There's a hi-ho song, but I'm not going to go over that. I am also going to do the tiki gods that I actually do remember. So
I will say before you start that,
okay,
you said you had to be off at 10:55.
No, not 10:55.
No. Okay, I misunderstood then.
No, as long as I'm off by 8 or by 11:05, I'm good.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. My name is Tangaroa Roo, the East Wind, and I am Hina, goddess of rain. We often travel together, wind and rain, through tropic lands across the 7 seas. Excellent. Stand closer so that you may see what magic there is in fantasy. Okay, so let's see. Then there's me, Rongo. Is Rongo the kite flyer? I think he is. Me, Rongo. Me, #1 kite flyer.
If Outbound's still here, he did do a fantastic Tiki Room ride that went through all these.
That's true.
You might remember.
One day I find electricity. Okay. Is Maui the one that parties? God damn, I'm ashamed of myself that I don't remember. Because I know there's something about last night the Tiki gods had big time. And now my head's sore. I remember that. I definitely remember that. Okay. And then so there's Rongo, Maui, Hina, Tangaroa Roo. And then there's Pele and Nagende, which is probably the one that I have down the most because I really like the visuals of that one. My name is Pele, goddess of fire and volcanoes. Some say I torment poor Nagende, the earth balancer. For when my violent temper rises, the earth crumbles at its foundation. I love how everyone's dipped. Everyone has dipped. We're down to 2 people. We're down to 2 people.
One of those is me.
Okay. Legends say I'm just balancing the earth, but sad to say I'm just hanging on. I'm the one who's really sad. When I smile, it comes out mad. All right. I'm done. We've lost almost the entire audience. I'm done at this point.
This was a fantastic way to end off the season, though. Thank you for doing that.
One of these days, I'm going to do the whole show with like full-on singing and everything. Yeah.
I am sure we could get that to be like a forum project and get everyone on board to do different parts.
Oh, we absolutely
go terribly.
We should.
It would go so terribly. I see you talked a big game, and I watched you crumble on that, which is why I didn't mention that I'm pretty sure I could do the same for Haunted Mansion, because I know immediately I would blank. The minute that I was like put on the spot, I'd be like, I know nothing.
One thing is Creek and fuck.
All right, y'all mentioned post-credit stuff. You want to get into that?
The
Now that
extra
we
comics
literally
I'm
have
gonna post.
one viewer.
Extra comics I'm gonna post. One's teasing Sorcerer's Apprentice, and one teases Living Bird, who wound up making his grand debut in HGP's project.
I know, right?
Pure coincidence that I just finished that comic like minutes before HGP posted that.
That's funny. All right, well, congrats to AGP.
Oh yeah.
We'll get them next time, Red.
Red obviously also played a fantastic game.
Oh yeah.
Everyone was awesome. I'm looking forward to Sorcerer's Apprentice, very much so. I really hope that I don't wind up on a team where by default I have to be the leader, because that's literally happened to me like the past 3 fucking games I've tried to play. Please don't let it happen this time. I literally think I would drop out if that happened.
Carry less.
Yeah, just do less.
Just do less.
Just first comment every round. I'll do a food stand. And I'll come back 6 days later.
Why are you telling Tiki to steal my bit? This is my bit. I do a food stand.
Ooh. We'll have to see if Obi plays.
I'll be like, I will do a very tasteful flat ride.
Yes.
There you go.
All right.
Is it going to be a spinner?
Oh god, probably. It's just all Dumbo clones.
There
just
you go.
Literally
Every ride, every land.
I might actually make that a bit. What if I just competed on Sorcerer's Apprentice, but literally gave myself a challenge that every single thing I did was just a Dumbo clone?
Well, that's
If there's not a
bit
Dumbo
more
clone that
than
can be incorporated into the prompt, I'm just straight up not participating in the prompt.
That's honestly not far off from what I did last season, where I made sure I did a trash can for every single round.
Oh, that's cool.
And I've done bits for one sentence competitions like that before.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I honestly kind of wish that we would have ended off on the whole when hinges pre. Oh fuck, that would have been a perfect place to end
Yeah,
it.
we should have just cut the camera there.
Hard
Oh,
cut.
yeah. But hello to anyone still watching. I hope you had a good time.
It's literally just you, Pi. It's literally just you.